Hello guys, what is going on? Um, so this is gonna be my first video featuring Rebel Clash decks, and in this video we're going to be talking about Tangrowth. And this deck really centers around its first attack, Grass Knot. For one grass energy, this attack does 30 more damage for each colorless in your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost. In our current format, we do have a lot of heavy retreaters, such as Arceus Dialga Palkia with 3 retreat cost, Zacian with 2 retreat cost, and things like this. And this card synergizes super well with a new card from Rebel Clash, Galar Mine. The retreat cost of both active Pokemon is 2 more, so that adds 70 extra damage. And Absol's ability Dark Ambition, if your opponent's active Pokemon is a basic Pokemon, its retreat cost is colorless more, so that adds 30 more damage. And as we get Galar Mines into play and Absols onto our bench, the damage really starts to rack up. And with the number of basic Pokemon in our format, this deck does pretty well. For example, against Arceus Dialga Palkia, you're already hitting 100 damage for 1 grass energy. With Galar Mine, you're hitting 160, and with 4 Absol on your bench, you're actually knocking out an Arceus Dialga Palkia. So ADP is not a bad matchup for this deck. Other Pokemon we do play Ditto, just in case we do prize some Tangelas. We do play 3 of this Tangela Tangle Drag. For 1 grass energy, switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon. This attack also synergizes really well with Galar Mine and Absol. If we're ever in a tough spot and we need to buy some time, or it's the end game and our opponent has played all the switches from their deck, we can just Tangle Drag and deck them out, and that is our second win condition with this deck. We play 1 Dedenne just in case we ever do brick and need an out. We play 1 Marshadow because Chaotic Swell is pretty popular in our current format, so we do want to use the resetting hole in order to play our Galar Mines and get it into effect without having to waste one and play another one. We play 1 copy of Mew in case we ever run into Pikarom or other bench snipers. We play 1 Great Catcher. Now the thing about this deck is that we do not play Boss's Order. Besides the fact that I have failed to trade for some, they're like 10 packs right now. They're super expensive. This deck, Tangrowths usually get knocked out the turn after they attack, and Boss's Order just doesn't really fit well in this deck. It's just not the best supporter for your turn. So we do play 1 Great Catcher to gust up GXs, and we play 3 Pokemon Catchers in order to gust up any other Pokemon like Vs, VMAXs, or just any not non-GX Pokemon. For our search options, we play 3 Netball to search out Tangelas and Grass Energies. We play 4 Quick Ball like all the decks in the format right now to get out our Dittos, Absols, Dedennes, Marshadow, Mew, Tangela. Quick Ball is basically like an all-around search option, and we do play 3 Pokémon Communication. Because we are playing 16 Pokemon, we do usually get stuck with the Pokemon in our hand, and Pokemon Communication just works really well in this deck. We play 2 Ordinary Rod to recover our energy and our Pokemon. 1 Reset Stamp to put our opponent down to a low size hand in case they ever do take an early lead or just a lead in general in the game. It's super good late game if it doesn't get discarded early on. We play 3 Switch to pivot between our Tangrowths and Absols and stuff like that, and if we ever get stuck in the active, we do need to hit switches more often than not. We play 2 Tool Scrappers, which is a really good card for this deck, which is another reason why this deck is viable. We choose up to 2 Pokemon tools attached to our opponent's Pokemon, and we can discard them. This is super good when our opponent has Frying Pans, Big Charms, and especially Escape Boards and Air Balloons to get rid of them, so our Tangrowths can do as much damage as possible. That's the reason we play 2 over 1. We play 4 Galar Mine because we do need to hit these as soon as possible to disrupt our opponent. And with Jirachi being as popular as it is in the format, Galar Mine is a really important card. And this is the reason we don't play Jirachi in our own deck. Galar Mine will just stop us from retreating Jirachi. And no matter how many switches we play, we will find our Jirachi stuck in the active, which is what we don't want. We play a 2-2, a split line of Marnie and Cynthia to disrupt our opponent, to give us the option to either disrupt our opponent to a 4-card hand or just draw 6 cards. We play 4 research like any other deck, basically 2 Rosa. In case this is ever in our hand, it is a really good supporter to play for the turn. It guarantees us another attack, which is what we want with this deck. And we play 8 grass energy to hit it as often as we can. And yeah, this is the deck, and let's get into some games. Alright, so into our first game here. We are playing against JC Master High. Let's flash him the hello, and let's see if we win the coin flip here. We do. And normally with this deck, we do want to go first. We want to find our Tangelas as soon as possible and get them out onto the bench. So here, we will be starting Tangela, which is fine. This current hand looks pretty good. We can quick ball away. It depends on what our top deck is. If it is a Pokemon, we can use Pokémon Communication. If you're playing Absol, if you're playing Jirachi, we obviously want to get Absol out. And yeah, let's see how this goes. We are going to start Tangela. Low bench Pokemon, and let's see what they're playing. This is going to be a Dedenne start from our opponent. So I do not know what they're playing right now. It could be anything really. So here, let's check. We have all grass energy. We prized Marnie. Ooh, we prized 1 Galar Mine. We prized 1 Tool Scrapper. All the quick balls are here. And yeah, I don't know what else we prize. So here, I think we just what do we get here? Do we want an Absol or a Tangela? I guess we play it safe and get a Tangela. No, we'll play it risky and get an Absol. If they are playing fire and they do knock out our Tangela, it's too bad, but it is what it is. We're not gonna play Galar Mine in case they do decide to play a Stadium and Emolga. This could be Nuzzle. There's another Emolga, so there's a Pokemon Communication. This is a Lost March matchup. Okay. So Lost March has not been a popular deck. I have not seen it in a very long time, so I'm excited to see what this brings. There is a Trumbeak. It's failed, so our top deck's not a supporter card, which is fine. Let's see what our opponent has here. I doubt they're gonna land a turn 1 knockout on our Tangela. It doesn't feel like Lost March plays that many switches, as Jumpluff does have free retreat, which makes this matchup sort of hard. We do want to have Galar Mine and play it as much as possible to get those knockouts on Jumpluff. And there is a Lost Blunder from our opponent, and they do not get the turn 1 knockout, which is great for us. So here we're gonna try the Pokemon Catcher. It is Tails, that's fine. We're gonna Pokemon Communication away an Absol to get ourselves a Tangrowth so we can start attacking this turn. And put this early pressure on our opponent. We can play the Galar Mine. And let's draw some cards. So currently we're hitting 40, 70, 100, 130. So we do just need another Absol to knock them out, I do believe. Let's see. Let's grab it. Oh, our Dedenne is prized, so it looks like we are just gonna sit here for a while. So 40, 70, 100. So we are knocking out the Dedenne, which is super good for us. We do have that going for us. So we will get rid of a quick ball and get out another Tangela, to hopefully just keep on attacking. And let's just Grass Knot for the knockout. Super strong start from us. But let's see if there's a Marnie. That is a great draw supporter. And a Tool Scrapper can be useful. And there's the Hoppip promotion. Let's see. There's the Skip Bloom and another Skip Bloom. So they do have knockout this turn on our Tangrowth. That is a bit. And oh shoot, they still do have to find the retreat option because of Galar Mine. That is good for us. There's a research from our opponent. Okay. Let's see if they can find a grass energy. There's an evolution incense. That's not a grass energy. They do evolve into Skip Bloom. Let's see if they can find the knockout on our Tangrowth this turn. If they can't, that would be super good for us, and we would just be full steam ahead. But I have a feeling they got the knockout because they did dig pretty hard, and their deck's pretty thin right now. So I would not doubt it. If they got the knockout, I would not be surprised. There's Quick Ball. Do they play second Dedenne? I don't think they should. There's an Oricorio. Okay, they're gonna draw some more cards. And there's the Netball for the Hoppip. Okay, so they do have the grass energy in hand. We are gonna get knocked out by Jump Bluff. So this turn, we can Marnie away their Oricorio in their hand. Hope they don't get it this turn. We will Netball for a grass energy, because we need that to attack. We will Ordinary Rod back, both Tangela and Tangrowth, and we do just need to keep on attacking over and over to keep up with the momentum that Lost March has. So, or we can actually gust up Emolga and hopefully buy some turns for us. That is another option for us. But we do have the knockout on our opponent, which is a great thing. We can discard. I don't really want to discard Great Catcher because our opponent does play the Oricorio, and we do want to gust it up. But at the very same time, I'm afraid I have to, because we do, if worst case scenario, we get knocked out and we don't have attack, so we can gust up this Emolga to buy ourselves a few turns. And again, with the lack of switch that our opponent's deck is playing, this should go rather well for us. There's another Galar Mine. That is a pretty good prize card, but we were looking for our Dedenne GX. There's the Jump Bluff promotion. There's the Trumby. Do they get rid of a supporter? They do not. Okay. But that just tells me that we're stuck for another turn, which is not ideal. There's a Pokémon Communication, most likely for that Oricorio to keep on digging for the energy. But if they did promote this Jump Bluff, I would think they would already have the energy in their hand. Because if they didn't, they definitely should have promoted Natu. Okay, that's a very strange move from our opponent. They could have just promoted Natu to knock us out. That would have been a better move than what they just did. But it is what it is. So here we actually can use Tangela's Tangle Drag to bring up Oricorio and buy ourselves a few turns, because it does not look like we have an attack, which is what can happen with this deck sometimes. There's the attachment to Oricorio. If they do decide to retreat this, that would be a huge waste of their energy. There's a Tangrowth, but the question is, do we want to knock this out? I don't think we do, because we don't have a backup attack. But we could draw the Dedenne of the prizes. Do I want to risk the attack? I doubt our opponent's deck plays many switch. So, do we go for the attack and hope to draw the Dedenne off the prize cards? I'm not sure. This is gonna be a tough one. So our opponent's retreat cost is 5, is currently 6. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So assuming they do bump the Galar Mine, they still do not have an attack. So we will just pass to our opponent and hope they cannot attack us. If they do, there is another pass from our opponent. So we will attack into our opponent as soon as we draw into like another Tangela, to guarantee that we are safe to attack. There's a Rosa. That is a really good draw. do we still want to attack? I think I'm hesitant to attack, but eventually our opponent can eventually get 6 energy, so I think we just do. Because we have the Rosa in hand, we can just get out some more Tangrowths, and that would be our plan. So that is the reason why I attacked. So here we will take our 2 prize cards. There's a Stamp, that is a good draw, and there is a Cynthia, that is also pretty good. So let's see what our opponent has going for them. I think it was okay that we knocked out the Oricorio. I don't think it will cost us the game. Sure, we could have stalled them out, but they do have more Twin Energy. Oh no, they couldn't have attached Twin Energy, so I guess we could have stalled them out, but we can still win this, I'm pretty sure. So our last prize card is a Dedenne, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's fine nonetheless. So here we will get Tangela. What else do we want? We do want the Grass Energy, obviously, and what else do we take? Do we take Ordinary Rod? I think we do, yeah, to increase our chances of getting a Tangela next turn. So here, those are the cards we will take. We will attach to Tangela. If we want to really get risky, we can switch into Tangela and bring up the Emolga, and its retreat cost would be a 5. And assuming that our opponent doesn't play switch, I feel like that might just be the right play. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna go for, actually. If they play custom catchers, we would be in trouble if they knocked out our Tangela. So we're gonna stamp them to 3, and we're gonna Tangle drag up this Emolga and hope they do not, just hope they can't retreat it, basically. So here we bring up the Emolga. Let's see what our opponent has going for them. Definitely a pretty risky play. There's the Trumbeak from our opponent. No supporter card, which is good for us. And the reason we don't play Buzzmosa in this deck is because whenever I tested this deck out, it just never really felt right. Like, I would never get to use it, so it was just a waste of a 3-prizer GX card, and it just didn't feel great. And it looks like there's just a pass from our opponent, and there's a concession from our opponent. We do take a victory in game 1, and I will see you guys in the next game. Yeah. Alright guys, so into our second game here against Guntex. His types were Electric, Dragon, Psychic, and Normal. Not sure what he's playing. We are gonna call tails here. We do win the coin flip again. So like in the last game against Lost March, we do want to go first. And let's see what our starting hand looks like. We will be mulliganing. That would have been a terrible starting hand. It wouldn't have been bad, but it wouldn't have been great. So it's okay. Let's see what our hand looks like. Not great. So here we will be starting Ditto. The bad thing is our opponent knows what we're playing now, so that's pretty bad for us. And if you guys are new, please like and subscribe. Really helps out the channel. And it really encourages me to make new content. And Rebel Clash videos will be coming out soon. So yeah, stay tuned for more content. So here we will Quick Ball, get rid of a Grass Energy, and we will get out, we don't need the Dedenne right now. We have all of our Absols, all of our Tangelas. We prize 1 Tangrowth, that is something to note. We have both of our Ordinary Rods. We prized 1 Galar Mine, which is not ideal, but okay. At least we didn't prize all of them. And we prized 1 Grass Energy as well as 1 Research. Okay, so here, I think we just go for the Absol because we do have a Tangela on the bench to attack with. We will attach to the Tangela and just pass to our opponent. I think here we will be getting a Horror House GX. So that means we won't be able to play any cards from our hand, but that is okay with me. Our setup was not terrible, and this thing does have 2 retreat costs, keep that in mind. So we can use that to our advantage. And it looks like we will be against Mewtwo Mally, most likely. So there is the... So they do play the Naganadel that can snipe the bench, so we do want Mew, and it is in our deck. We do want Mew as soon as possible to prevent them from sniping our bench Pokemon. And this matchup isn't too bad for us. Again, our opponent plays all basic Pokemon, and like I said in the beginning, basic Pokemon are just super popular in the format right now, and this is why we can take advantage of Tangela and Absol and Galar Mine all together. There's an air balloon to the Inkay. I feel like, oh no, they play an air balloon to the Gengar and Mimikyu as well. Okay, well played. So, we do play two of Tool Scrapper. So we do want to hit that as soon as possible. So there's the Horror House GX from our opponent. There is a Tangrowth for next turn. That is pretty good for us. So we do have a turn to attack. Ideally, we do find what we need to take the knockout against this Gengar Mimikyu, but that is pretty unlikely by the looks of it. They haven't gone through any switches so far, so the stalling option does not look like it's too viable right now, but that's okay. It's still pretty early game. There's the Quick Ball, probably gonna get another Inkay or a Mewtwo. I would imagine there's the Mewtwo, and let's see what our opponent has going for them. They will be taking the knockout, which is unfortunate, but fine with us. There's a Dedenne. That's another target for us, which is pretty good. Yeah, let's see what they have. There's a Cherish Ball, probably gonna thin out another attacker. Whatever that card was. Mega Lopunny and Jigglypuff. We don't see that too often in these Mewtwo Mar lists, especially with Dragonite GX. They really decided to check out their list by the looks of it for a lot of matchups. There's a Ditto. Sort of scares me to what this can evolve into. But yeah, it's fine. There's a Poltergeist from our opponent. And they will take their one prize card. So ideally, our opponent does not land a knockout on our Tangrowth in the following turn. That would be really good for us. So here we will Cynthia. No reason to play the Ordinary Rod right now. There's a Catcher. But other than that, no Tool Scrapper or Galar Mine. So that is rather unfortunate. We do want to thin out these items in our hand to grab the Tangela. We can dig with the Dedenne, but that just doesn't feel great right now. Especially with the research in our hand, we do have options next turn to go into. So we will just hold on to this hand. Do we want a Pokémon Catcher? If we swing into this Mewtwo, we do hit it pretty hard, so... And we do force a switch out of our opponent, so I guess we do decide to... There is a heads, so we will just swing into this Mewtwo for 130 damage. Not quite 2-shot range, but if we do bench another Absol, it will be in 2-shot range. And this is good for a couple of reasons. One, it gets rid of items in our hands, meaning they can't hit us as hard. And B, it forces out a switch from our opponent, which is what we want, so we can, if needed, we can stall with Tangela in the late game rounds. So let's see what our opponent has going for them. There's a Stamp, to 6, so hopefully they knock us out. And it does look like they will be getting the knockout, unfortunately. There's attachment to the Mewtwo. There's a research. They're digging for a switch. I'm fine with that Stamp. It just gives us more cards to work with. We do want to find a Tool Scrapper as soon as possible. Yeah. So, let's see what did they find? There's the switch from our opponent, so they will be knocking out our Tangrowth. Little unfortunate, but it's fine. So here we do have third Absol, and we do need to find that, Tool Scrapper as soon as possible to get rid of this air balloon. There's the Poltergeist from our opponent gonna be knocking us out, which is fine. Baby Blacephalon from our opponent won't really play too big of a role in this matchup, I feel like. So we should be fine with that. There's a switch draw, not the greatest. So here, we can Quick Ball. thin out the deck. I don't really feel like we need Mew right now. Not really necessary. So we can just grab. How much are we hitting? 40, 70, 100, 130, 160. Do we want to risk the Absol, Tool Scrapper, and Galar Mine? I really want to, but I'm rather hesitant. I do sort of want to play this safe. Yeah, let's just go for it. Worst case scenario, we have to drag something up and force out a switch from our opponent, which is fine with me. Let's hope we get what we need. This is not what we needed, unfortunately. So here we find another Tangela. Okay. We do want to play the Ordinary Rod. That is a start. We do want to shuffle back in those two, along with 2 Grass Energy. That's fine. And I really don't want to play the Great Catcher right now. This is really hard. I guess we just play the Galar Mine. This is not an easy decision. We'll just Tango Drag our opponent and bring up a Dedenne to hopefully buy some time for us. Yeah, that's how it's gonna go. And let's see what our opponent can do. Our opponent most likely does play Force Switch, so they can just switch out of the active, which is rather unfortunate. And with the 6-card hand they do have, I would not be surprised if they did just pull out a switch, and their deck is pretty thin as well. So there's a switch from our opponent, and here comes the Night Watch, I believe. So here we're just getting and there's a Marnie from our opponent, so that's fine. So here we do want to keep a Pokemon, and okay, so we do keep the Tangrowth, so that is great news for us. So we can knock out this Mewtwo and Malamar GX, which is good news for us. And there's a Galar Mine as well. We can keep that in our hand, or do we even really want to keep it in our hand is the question. We do want to bench this Tangela. So I believe we're taking a knockout against this Mewtwo, 40, 70, 100, 130, 160, 190. So we are taking a knockout against this Mewtwo, which is great news for us. We will play the Galar Mine just to get it out of our hands and decrease the chance of us getting knocked out by Gengar and Mimikyu next turn. So here, oh no. Oh no, please don't be a trainer card. And it is a Tangrowth. Okay, that sort of saves us from getting knocked out from Gengar and Mimikyu. As long as they don't Marnie us or something like that. There's a Chaotic Swell. That is fine. Not ideal for us, but fine at the very least. So here, our opponent is already down 2 Mewtwo's, and they are just charging up this Malamar for some reason. There's some Marnie from our opponent, so as long as we don't draw into 3 trainer cards, we will be fine. And there are 3 trainer cards, unfortunately. But it looks like they're not interested with swinging with... Oh, okay, they are interested. So here, they will knock us out. That is okay with us. We still have plenty of Pokemon Catchers in the deck. We still have 2 to chase this Gengar and Mimikyu, and we do still have that Great Catcher. So things are not looking too bad for us, to say the very least. So here we do want to evolve into Tangrowth. We do want to play our second Ordinary Rod to shuffle back in some cards. So we will... Oh no, we probably should have gotten back the Marshadow. A bit of a misplay on my part, but it's fine, to say the very least. Do we want to research? I feel like we do, to just draw that Grass Energy that we so desperately need. That's a Grass Energy, but a lot of trainers in our hand does not make it much better. But this hand is actually not too bad. We can netball, get ourselves a Tangela, and this is what's really good about this deck, is that we have the ability to keep on streaming these attacks over and over again. And do we want to play this Galar Mine? I think we do. Yeah, so we are going to play this Galar Mine to get rid of, hopefully, their last Chaotic Swell. And here we will just swing into our opponent. And if they do not for 130 damage, and if they do not do anything for the next turn, there's a third swell from our opponent. What in the world? Oh no, a second swell. Okay, so that's completely reasonable. So here they do have to retreat into Malamar and attack with Malamar. That doesn't feel ideal. So I feel like our opponent just has to take a knockout with Gengar and Mimikyu, because we do just knock out Malamar and we can't gust up a Dedenne for the game. So either way, yeah, and there's just the attack for Poltergeist, and it looks like we will be taking a dub against one of the better decks in the format, Mewtwo and Malamar GX, Mew 3 and Malamar. So here we will play the Rosa to get the Tangrowth, Grass Energy, and Toe Scrapper, and there's the concession from our opponent, and that is going to be the game. I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please like and subscribe for future content, and yeah, see you guys in the next video. Yeah, peace, stay safe, and have a good day.